Growing up, abortion was never a subject that was talked about, specifically in school. My whole life, I attended a private Catholic school where abortion was frowned upon and not something that was very common to hear about. Although, senior year of high school, my best friend had a long term boyfriend. She was always a good friend to me, but was always that girl that was talked about because of the choices she made. She constantly talked about how her and her boyfriend would use contraception pills, so she knew she wouldn't get pregnant. As we got closer to graduation, my best friend and I lost contact and did not talk as much, though she knew I was always there for her. 2 months before graduation, after not speaking to each other for a while, I got a phone call one day. I was shocked to see her name pop up on my phone because I hadn't talked to her in so long. I answer the phone, and the moment I pick up, I hear her sobbing. She could barely speak, and right then I knew something was not right because she was a very tough girl who rarely expressed emotions. She explained to me that she recently took a pregnancy test that came up positive, and she had no other option but to schedule an abortion. My heart sunk, and I became speechless because this was something everyone knew would happen to her. She begged me to go with her to the clinic, and I couldn't reject. Although I was opposed to the situation and tried to help her come up with other options, nothing seemed to work. She simply knew she was not ready or mature enough to handle a child of her own, especially still being in high school. Although I do not agree with her choice myself, many women would agree that this is the right way to go about things. This scenario gives me a good reason as to why I feel as if abortion limits are necessary. Many teenagers and women around the world do not think it is necessary to take precautionary measures because, after all, it is possible to get an abortion even if it causes them to have to jump through hoops. If there were more limits, I think fewer women would only get an abortion if the situation was consequential and not just because they decided to be unsafe. According to TheAtlantic.com, though the rate of abortion has changed, the politics of this issue have become stale. In the 42 years since the Supreme Court's ruling in Roe v. Wade, public opinion hasn't changed much. Roughly half of Americans believe abortion should be legal only in certain circumstances, while slightly less than a third believe it should be legal under any circumstances, and slightly less than a fifth oppose it altogether. This means that there are still people who do not agree with the law and need to take into consideration the side effects after having an abortion. StudentsForLife.org explains that there are 1.1 million U.S. abortions each year. Nearly 1 in 4, or 22% of pregnancies, end in abortion. 50% of women now seeking abortion have had at least one previous abortion. Also, the United States abortion rate is among the highest of developed countries. 51% of abortions are performed on women less than 25 years of age. Approximately 1 in 3 of American women have had an abortion by age 45. Lastly, abortion disproportionately affects Black and Hispanic women. These quick facts reveal that changes need to be made. Abortion is not the only option, and our country's abortion rate should not be the highest. There is a tremendous amount of emotional trauma if one chooses that route. Everyone deserves a chance to see what life is really like, even if that means putting the baby up for adoption and giving the child to a family that can take care of him or her. One's baby should not have to suffer consequences because the mother made the wrong choice.